Listen up, ladies and fellas. If you need a little pep in your step, don't be afraid to use G Fuel. I can 120% say that I've been using it for years now. Absolutely love it. You got just enough caffeine in each serving of G Fuel in order to get your day going. This is not a sponsorship. This is strictly an affiliate, so I don't get paid off anything unless you use my link in the description box and my promo code NARUEX, NARUEX. They've got all types of anime themed G Fuel merchandise and energy tubs, and each serving has around 140 to 150 grams of caffeine in each serving, just enough to get your day going with the extra pep in your step. Best of all with G Fuel is that there's no crash and there's absolutely zero sugar inside of it. And as someone that does try to avoid having too much caffeine and too much sugar, I absolutely love it. Use my promo code NARUEX in order to save a little extra when you purchase G Fuel. Pin, comment, and link in the description box. Boruto Uzumaki, the boy who's so smart he might have accidentally broken the entire timeline. Not by summoning a god, not by killing a villain, no, just by running his big mouth. That's right, by simply telling Kawaki, hey fam, go get your limiters removed, Amado's nerfing you. Boruto may have triggered a catastrophic chain of events that might lead to the fall of one of the most important figures in this war against Jura, Ada. Yes, that all-seeing, beautiful, glamorous goddess, that all-over it girl. She might be walking straight into a trap because of Boruto, and it all started with Boruto playing 4D chess against time and not realizing that he didn't read the rule book. And somewhere in that web of time, Mamushi, an enemy born from Bug's twisted obsession with Ada, is preparing his clones for something deadly. A singularity of fate is about to be hunted, and trust me, it's way deeper than just any Psycho Stalker grudge match. Psycho Stalker obviously being referenced in Bug's love for Ada and Bug wanting to put hands on Damon. Join me in today's newest Naruto Explained video where your OBC, your original Boruto chief, takes a look at why Boruto's timeline change might have placed Ada on a crash course with Mamushi. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to sub to my Anime Explained channel because the editor is hard at work on explained videos for Don to Don, My Dress Up Darling, Sakamoto Days, Kaiju number 8, and so much more, as well as my Everything One Piece Explained channel where I do explained videos and blind reactions to every One Piece chapter, chapter by chapter, from chapter 1 to the current chapter, as a brand new reader of One Piece who's never been spoiled. Links in the description box as well as the homepage of my YouTube channel. Now, let's kick things off with Boruto breaking the timeline. So Boruto's decision to alter the timeline by wanting Kawaki to get his limits removed sooner was a genius move on paper. By intervening before Kawaki could be captured, he ensured that he'd survive that battle against Jura, but here's the kicker: by doing this, Boruto unknowingly rearranged all the dominoes that were falling. This one change might have accelerated or diverted Mamushi's actions. Kashin Koji's 10 directions that saw something chilling in this new timeline update. A timeline where Mamushi appears with clones of himself, seemingly prepared for a battle. But who's the target, you're asking? Well, we already know the answer. It's Ada. But why Ada? Because she is one of the 3 singularities of fate, along with Boruto and Kashin Koji. She was meant to observe, not fight. A being with knowledge of the present and the past, but now caught in a future that she didn't see coming. Here's the problem with Ada. She has power without mastery, and it's not just her ability to use Shibai's senrigan and omnipotence. So let me explain. So Ada's strength is paradoxical. Sure, she's powerful enough. She is strong enough to be discarded and viewed as a threat by Jigen. She was supposed to be discarded along with Damon and any other cyborg that was deemed to have combat power that was stronger than Jigen's. Code was spared because Code was willing to get limiters. Ada and Damon were supposed to be shut down, which, as a reminder, none of Ada's abilities would have worked on Jigen, meaning he had no reason to feel a threat towards her, unless it is what we're told. Combat capabilities exceeded Jigen. But here's the problem with that. She herself claims that she hates fighting. Her taijutsu is average by her own words. Her senrigan can show you what happened in the past and the present, but it doesn't help if someone sneaks up behind her with killing intent and zero emotional attachment like Mamushi. She doesn't have precognition with that eye. That eye, for as powerful as it is, it's basically useless in combat. We saw with Kawaki, when he shrinks down too small, she can't see him. There are other blind spots with that power. Ada's real power, in my opinion, is emotional manipulation, but here's the problem. Mamushi is born as someone who is already obsessed with her, Bug. This means Mamushi isn't going to care about her charm ability that comes from omnipotence, where everyone falls in love with her and can't do harm to her. Mamushi's made from somebody that already fell to those effects, and he's basically taken it to the extreme. And guess what? Her little brother Damon, her walking pint-sized banana boat, Paw Patrol, Sesame Street watching little brother, well, he's known for reflecting killing intent, and he's known for loving a good battle, but Mamushi, his twisted nature, is gonna bypass logic and emotion altogether, and he's going to fight him because he's made from somebody in Bug who knows the weakness to Damon's ability. Get him on a one-on-one setting, keep him from pressing his hands on somebody, and reflection doesn't activate. Whereas Code was too weak to be able to throw hands with Damon and survive that battle by coming out on top. Instead, he got kicked into next Friday. Mamushi would be strong enough to exploit it. There's a reason why Damon was stated in Chapter 80 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations to have never used his full power. It's poetic. The one person that he looked down upon is going to force him to use that power. Now, there's something more to this. There's symbolism in Bug's rejection and Mamushi's revenge. So let's talk about Bug, that Kara outer member who adored Ada and got nothing in return. He was bullied by Damon, and he was used in a very subtle way as comedic relief. He was a simp for Ada. He was a punching bag for Damon. Every time that boy Damon saw Bug, his worst impulses that any reasonable person would be afraid to be on the other end when it comes to Damon, they all just came flooding out. But Bug's chakra is what Mamushi's made from, what he was born from, and he is a creature with a target, Ada. This isn't just a fight. This is truly poetry when you think about that, because Mamushi is the stalker archetype. He finally is going after the woman who rejected him and the kid who mocked him. In Shintoism, this mirrors the stories like the tale of Ami no Wakahiko, a heavenly warrior who falls in love with a woman who he shouldn't have and ends up dead because of unreciprocated desire. It's a cautionary tale. Obsession leads to ruin. Mamushi is the incarnation of Bug's rejected love turned into hatred, and Ada, like many divine feminine figures in Shinto, is targeted not because of what she did, but because of what she represents. Unattainable beauty and unyielding rejection. Damon is the trickster protector. He mirrors figures like Susanoo, who causes chaos through emotion. And as longtime viewers of the channel know, who are the two people I've compared Damon and Ada to? Amaterasu in the form of Ada and Susanoo in the form of Damon. But chaos to protect order when the enemy is cold and calculated is something that we're about to see the answer to. Can that be possible? Now, there's a Buddhist symbolism here when you look at how the singularity of fate may be falling here. And I think this is a good direction should the story go this route. So in Buddhism, the singularity of fate basically feels very eerily similar to a Bodhisattva, someone placed in the world to help steer others toward enlightenment or change. Ada represents the present and the past. Kashin Koji represents the future. Boruto's the one walking the path to change it. This trinity is a delicate karmic engine. You need all of them in order to pull off what Kashin Koji wants. But karma does not play favorites. If Ada is killed or she's broken by Mamushi, if she does end up being the one person who is a Shinju target who gets to consume, which I'll down the hill, we need to see that happen at least once. Just like we needed to see what happened if a Jinchuriki got a Biju extracted from them. Boruto never having a Shinju consume their target, that would be like the Akatsuki never ripping the Biju out of a Jinchuriki. At least one has to happen. So if something happens to Ada, it's going to disrupt this cycle. Kashin Koji's strategy required Ada's vision and Boruto's action. You remove one and the entire plan to defeat Jura could fail. Worse, from a Buddhist perspective, it represents the danger of attachment. Koji has grown attached to a specific outcome. Boruto is gambling on the present, but if Mamushi succeeds in the outcome of all of this, it teaches a hard Buddhist truth. The more you cling to a path, the more it slips from your grasp. That is part of the lesson that Kashi Koji's having to learn with Boruto having changed the timeline. And just like that, Boruto's attempt to fix the future, it may end up dooming the present. So this is the tragedy of timing. This is where we are right now. Boruto, the Wonder Kid boy genius, he changed the timeline. Koji saw the shift through 10 directions, but he was unable to stop it. There's all these possible timelines, and now he has to try and make sense out of all of them to figure out which path is going to be chosen. Ada, the goddess of the present, she is also unaware. Now, Koji could tell her, hey, you might want to watch out for any old men with long beards that you see walking up on you. But Mamushi, the shadow of obsessive love, he is now seemingly closing in. And somewhere in between all of this, you have Damon, the true wild card in the story. He may or may not be enough to stop him. If Damon falls, if Ada dies, it won't just be the potential loss of a powerful ally. It would also symbolize the unraveling of the karmic balance that Boruto, Koji, and Ada each represent. This isn't a tactical threat when you think about it from that perspective. This isn't something like, oh my god, Kabuto's reviving Madara. What are we gonna do? No, this is existential. This is why I ask you as a reader, as a viewer of this channel, as a fan of the franchise, if you are a Boruto Uzumaki fan, I'm asking you to put your love for the character aside. The same way I'm putting my love for Ada, she's one of my favorite characters out of the Boruto story. I'm putting my love for her to the side to say, hey, she might be in danger. I'm asking you as a Boruto fan, put your love for that character to the side and answer this question. Did Boruto make a mistake? Did he doom Ada simply because of a simple conversation with all these unintended consequences? And more importantly, what does it mean when a singularity of fate, someone meant to observe, is dragged into a fight that they were never prepared to survive? In my opinion, Ikimoto has a chance to do something very poetic, something very tragic. It's the kind of exact storytelling that could take Boruto to Blue Vortex, which is already compelling, and it could take it and put it into another stratosphere. If Mamushi succeeds and this plan is disrupted, if Ada falls, so too does the balance between the past, present, and the future. It's going to make so many possible outcomes to look at. Will Ada be forced to fight and show us what average means for her? Who is she judging as a baseline for average? Will Damon be forced to step up and use his full power for the first time in the series? Or has the timeline already been broken in ways that Kashi Koji, with his cheat code 10 directions, has never seen? Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking here on the left to check out more videos from Naruto Explained, or click here on the right to check out videos from my other two anime channels where I talk about non-Naruto content.